It's Monday, so we'll dive into all of the big dirt racing from the weekend, including the World of Outlaws, Lucas, All-Stars, USAC, and more. Let's go. Today is Monday, May 23rd, 2022. Welcome into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Supposed to be a two-show weekend for the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series in Ohio, but Mother Nature had other plans on Saturday night at Sharon. So with that show canceled, we only got the Friday race in at Attica. We did get a nice field, though, on Friday night. 41 cars, and that included Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, Rico Abreu, Buddy Kofoid. We had a Sammy Swindell sighting, plus the Outlaws and a lot of the Ohio regulars. I picked Larson for the win, and he did not let me down on the night. 6th in his qualifying group, 3rd to 2nd in his heat race, 5th to 2nd in the dash, and then he led all 40 laps to grab his second Outlaw win of the season. The other actually was at Tulare back in March. Since finishing 12th and 17th at Volusia, Larson's Outlaw finishes are 3rd, 1st, 7th, 2nd, 2nd, and 1st. Behind Young Money, there was plenty of other action and drama in the race. Carson Macedo is trying to dig out of that points hole from being light at the scales at the Grove and then finishing 13th at Bridgeport following that. He started 4th and ended up 2nd after chasing Larson throughout the feature. His crew chief, Philip Dietz, just had his first child, so he was actually absent from the racetrack, leaving things up to Nate Repitz and Clyde Knipp. Macedo said afterwards that Dietz was on the phone and watching on DirtVision to try and help the guys out as much as he could. Nothing a little technology can't help out. James McFadden rounded out the podium, which was just his 3rd top 3 finish of the season. J-Mac, I think, is off a little bit from where he was last year in 2021, but hopefully 3 straight top 10s means that Roth 83 is now going in the right direction. As for the Outlaw points battle, a brutal night for David Gravel means he's dropped back to 3rd in the standings, with Macedo finishing 2nd and Sweet 5th that night. Gravel had to make multiple trips to the work area. He had a flat tire, power steering issues, the wing wouldn't move, and that all led to an 18th place finish. Definitely not what those guys needed as they try and keep pace with Sweet and Macedo out front. Behind those front 3 guys, Sheldon Haudenschild remains very much in the mix after 3 straight top 4 finishes. He's only another 10 points behind Gravel, so 56 total back of Sweet. Logan Schuhart rounds out the top 5. He's 92 points back. The Outlaws are sticking around Ohio this week with a Saturday show at Atomic on tap. They will then head to Lawrenceburg on Monday for that fairly traditional Memorial Day stop. Over to the World of Outlaws late model series, this 3-race stretch in Pennsylvania was one in which Max Blair needed to have a good weekend on his home turf to keep Erb Jr. honest in the race for the championship. And for the most part, I think he did just about what he needed to do. A win on Thursday at Bloomsburg, a 9th on Friday at Marion Center, and then a 3rd on Saturday at Port Royal. That 9th was probably the weak point from the weekend, not what they were looking for, but still a very solid 3 nights. Unfortunately for Blair, though, Erb was able to match his pace this weekend with a 2nd on Thursday, a win on Friday, and a 9th on Saturday. Headed for Sharon Speedway in Ohio this coming weekend, Erb's lead is still 100 points over Blair for the championship. I know we've lost a few cars with the Outlaws this season, but Dennis Erb is a different driver this year. His average finish has improved over 4 positions from 2021. His average time trial position and average feature start are better. He's won 2 races, He's leading laps. He's finished top 10 in nearly 80% of the races. And both his top 5 and top 10 efficiency numbers are 100%. So that means when he starts top 5 and top 10, he finishes there. I think he and crew chief Heather Lyne understand the opportunity in front of them this season, and they are taking full advantage right now. I do like Blair as a full-time Outlaw driver, for sure. He's definitely talented. They've got all of the equipment and resources they need. But with Erb's experience around the country, I think that 28 car will be tough to match as we head into the summer. This was Blair's home area, but Erb was ready for the fight. So the Thursday night win to Blair at Bloomsburg, which we talked about last week. Friday at Marion Center, it was all Erb out front. He started on the front row and led all 40 laps. Shane Clanton ended up 2nd, with Josh Richards going 12th to 3rd. It was Richards' 3rd consecutive 3rd place finish. And Saturday night at Port Royal, we had a first-time winner in Jared Miley. He took over from Rick Ecker right at halfway and then led the rest of the race for the victory. Greg Satterley and Max Blair completed the podium. A lot of Pennsylvania regulars in the mix at Port, with the top 5 guys all from Pennsylvania, and then 6 was Matt Cosner, who's actually from West Virginia, but he races up that way quite a bit. So good night for the local and regional guys. Miley was nearly an Outlaw winner a few years ago at Thunder Mountain Speedway, leading 26 of 50 laps. laps, but he had to settle for second at the end of that race when Brandon Sheppard got by him late. So it was a nice win for him and that team. Also wanted to point out Shane Clanton here, 3 races back as a full-time driver with the series and 3 top 7 finishes. With speed like that, he should be able to keep that Skyline team in the mix for the owner's title, depending on what Blair and Erb do going forward. Out in Iowa, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series had 2 stops over the weekend, Friday night at 300 Raceway and the Saturday stop that was supposed to be at 34 Raceway, then got moved to Sunday because of rain. Both races were dominated by the eventual winners, with Tyler Erb leading all 50 laps at 300 and Tim McCreadie leading all 50 at 34. Erb's Friday night win was his second victory in 3 races, and he again had that right rear quarter and spoiler knocked off that Best Performance 1 car. Didn't seem to slow him down, though. Brandon Sheppard tried to track him down late, but to no avail. Ricky Thornton Jr. recovered from that flip earlier in the week in that Flow Racing show that we saw at Marshalltown to finish 3rd behind those guys. Jimmy Owens had a nice 18th to 5th run to grab Hard Charger as well. On Sunday at 34, Tim McCreadie was just flat gone in that feature. He led wire to wire in a caution-free race with his margin of victory over 9 seconds. It was T-Mac's first Lucas win since January 31st at Bubba Raceway Park. Bishop was second again, with Earl Pearson Jr. rounding out the podium. With Devin Moran absent this weekend for the first time all year, we did have a bit of a shakeup in the standings. Sheppard leaves the weekend with a 130-point advantage now over Tyler Erb, with McCreadie 3rd, Jimmy Owens 4th, and RTJ in 5th. Owens is maintaining that top 5 spot, even though they supposedly aren't running for the Lucas Championship. Sheppard hasn't won a Lucas feature since East Bay back in February, but to be fair, though, we've only had 5 races since they left Florida. 3 straight second-place results for that team, though, should be unnerving for his Lucas competition. If there's one thing that Rocket House Car Squad knows how to do, it's be insanely consistent. We know McCreadie can do that because that's what won him the title last year. The question will be if Erb can maintain this pace. He's fast a lot. We know he can win, but can he keep his cool and maximize his finishes night in and night out? He's been pretty darn good so far this year, but there's still a lot of racing left. I think the jury is still out right now. Looking ahead, it's a big weekend on tap with the Show Me 100 coming up at Lucas Oil Speedway. We'll have more on that later in the week. With the All-Stars up north, we got 2 of 3 shows completed in Wisconsin, with Friday's race at Wilmot lost to rain. On Saturday night at Plymouth, it was Bill Balog going back-to-back. He started on the pole and led every lap of that race. A lot of IRA flavor on that podium, with Balog winning, Danny Schlafer 2nd, and Scotty Thiel in 3rd. Definitely a career night for Schlafer. I have 9 races in the database for him with the All-Stars, and his previous best finish was a 16th at Wilmot in 2021. On Sunday night, at Sunday night at Angel Park, it was a tough racetrack, and we had a couple of big incidents that wiped out several cars, including Kyle Reinhardt, Brandon Spithaller, Scotty Thiel, and Kevin Thomas Jr. PPM was involved in one of those incidents and drove the second half of the race with the nose wing knocked off the McGee 11. Out front, Justin Peck led most of the feature from the pole, but late in the going, Hunter Schuerenberg tracked him down in traffic and took the lead. He led the final 5 laps to earn his 3rd win in the last 7 All-Star races. Peck had to settle for 2nd, and PPM ended up on the podium even with that nose wing damage. After the race, though, we had some people try and create controversy when Schuerenberg went to victory lane first and then was pushed to the scales by officials. The track was in hurry-up mode because of time limits, and I think there was some confusion in the mix here. I obviously don't know what was said on the driver radio, but no crew members were ever near the 55, so All-Star officials pushed Schuerenberg to the scales. He made weight, he was legal, and then came back to victory lane. And I know a lot of you are going to say the rules are the rules. He should have got DQ'd if you missed the scales, but I feel like this one doesn't bother me at all. They were hurrying to try to get the midgets on the track. Schuerenberg made weight. I have zero problem with this call here. There's no conspiracy, so don't let the internet try to convince you otherwise. I feel like right now, just generally as a society, we're just mad about everything, so don't try and find other things to be mad about. This is literally no big deal. Both Peck and PPM finished ahead of Sunshine both nights here, so things are tight atop the standings leaving this weekend in Wisconsin. Courtney still leads, but PPM is 44 back in 2nd, and Peck is 46 back in 3rd. I'm telling you right now, do not sleep on the All-Stars. I think this is going to be a really fun summer with these guys all battling for the championship. Another Pennsylvania swing is on tap with Friday at the Grove and 2 days at Port Royal after that. The USAC National Sprint Cars also had weather issues this weekend, but they still got both of their programs in at Terre Haute. The Saturday show just ended up kind of pushed to Sunday as well. On Friday night, CJ Leary picked up his first career series win at Terre Haute, leading the final 11 laps. Mitchell Moles, who was making his debut in the series with Reinbold Underwood following the departure of Tanner Thorson, started on the pole and had a 3+ second lead wiped out with a debris caution. On the restart, Larry threw a big slider at him into turn 1, and that ended up being the race-winning move. At the checkered, Logan Seavey was second, but he came up light at the scales and was knocked back to 22nd, so Moles and Robert Ballou were the rest of the podium. Ballou was 2 spots better on Sunday, taking the lead from Seavey with 7 to go and driving away to his 3rd career Holman Classic and that rifle trophy. Brady Bacon finished second after having a tire explode on Friday night. Seavey was 3rd in the feature. The series point standings remain super tight with only 66 markers separating the top 7. Emerson Axum picked up 2 more top 10s over the weekend, but it wasn't enough to keep the lead. Justin Grant now leads the USAC National Sprint Car points by 5. Axum is 2nd, Ballou 3rd, Bacon 4th, and Leary in 5th. The series is off just a few days now before they head to Circle City on Wednesday and Thursday. Other weekend open wheel winners include T-Maz with the Boss Series at Gas City. Aaron Reitzel won the 360 show at Jackson. Cy Lynch won again at Lernerville. Lance DeWeese won the Friday show at Williams Grove. Aaron Reitzel won again in the 410 at Knoxville on Saturday. Freddie Kramer took Lincoln. Dominic Selzy was a NARC winner at Petaluma. Briggs Danner won the USAC East Coast show at Selinsgrove. And Gio Selzy was the Sunday winner at Huset's. Another weekend, late model racing, Devin Moran was a $10,000 winner at Hilltop. Jensen Ford and Ross Bales split the Ultimate Southeast weekend. Michael Page won at Sonoya, and Tommy Shepard Jr. was a Mars winner Sunday at Adams County. Just a quick note, a big storm in the Charlotte area today has stopped the Extreme Outlaw Midgets at Millbridge tonight. Racing has shifted now. It was supposed to be Monday, Tuesday. Now they're going to run Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll talk more about what to expect on that show, or on that race on tomorrow's show. With Millbridge off tonight, there are 2 shows on the streaming schedule today. Speed Sport has IMCA racing from the Clay County Fair Speedway, and there is Flow Racing 24/7. To find the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. That's it for the show today. Have a good Monday. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.